Welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to make halwa puri. The full measurements and ingredient list is written in the description box below. If you're also new to my channel, make sure to like and subscribe. Firstly, we're going to begin by adding the 3 cups of water into a pan and then adding in the 2 cloves and a few strands of saffron. I'm then going to add in a pinch of orange food colour. You can add more than this if you like a deeper orange colour. And then once the water is boiling, I'm then going to add in the sugar. And then just going to give this a quick mix just to dissolve the sugar into the water. And then on a high heat I'm just going to let this boil for 3 to 4 minutes just to develop the flavour. And then I'm going to turn the heat right down and allow this to simmer on the side for 20 minutes. In a separate pan I'm then going to melt the butter and then add in the 2 green cardamoms. Once all the butter's melted, I'm then going to add in the semolina and then give this a good mix. You'll begin to see that the butter gets absorbed very quickly. I'm now going to leave this to cook on a very low heat, and then I'm just going to stir it occasionally while I make the dough for the puris. For the dough, add the self-raising flour into a bowl and then add in the wheat flour. I'm then going to add in salt, sugar and yogurt. You can use any type, just make sure that it's not flavoured. And then with a spoon you just want to give this a quick mix just to make sure that the yogurt's really well mixed into the flour. And then you just want to bring the dough together with some normal tap water. Just add it a bit at a time, and you don't want to make this dough very soft or very hard, you just want it in the middle. Once the dough comes together, you can then use your hand just to knead it for a couple of minutes to form into a smooth ball. So after about 2 minutes of kneading, it should look like this. It will be slightly sticky and elastic, and you want it like this. If you've got it too hard, your puris will be really crispy. You then want to empty it out onto a worktop and add the 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then just give this another knead until all the oil is absorbed. So once the dough has absorbed all the oil, it should look like this. I'm then just going to put this back into the bowl that's slightly greased with some oil, and then cover it and leave it to rest for about 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm now returning back to the semolina that's been cooking on the side. I'm now going to turn up the heat just slightly above low, and then I'm going to start to brown this mixture. I'm going to cook this until it becomes fully brown and fragrant. After a few minutes you'll begin to see that it becomes frothy, and you'll only need to cook it for a few minutes, and you'll know that it's done when you see the butter appearing from the sides of the pan. As you can now see, the semolina has reached a nice golden brown colour, and I'm not going to cook it any longer than this. I'm then going to carefully add in the sugar syrup. And then I'm also going to add in the 1 cup of warm milk at this point. You then want to give this a really good mix, and if you've got any lumps you want to break these away now. Leave the mixture over a high heat to come to the boil again, and then remove the cardamom and cloves from the top. Once the mixture starts to boil, you'll begin to see that the mixture quickly starts to thicken as the semolina starts to absorb the water. At this point you can turn the heat down to medium, as it does tend to splatter at this point as it thickens. Once the mixture reaches this consistency, turn the heat right down. You can also finish off the halwa at this point if you like it runny, however I'm going to cook it for a few more minutes. I'm now going to add in the sliced coconut and blanched almonds. And then I'm just going to mix these 2 in really well with the halwa. You then just want to continue to cook this until it's your desired consistency. For best results, I tend to cook this until I see the butter appearing from the sides of the pan. So once the halwa looks like this, I tend to turn off the heat at this point now, otherwise it does tend to dry out too much. I'm then just going to mix in the green raisins, and then you can just turn off the heat and leave this aside while you make the puris. I'm now just going to uncover the dough and then just knead this for another 2 minutes. Once you've kneaded the dough, it should be really soft and stretchy. You then just want to divide the dough into equal dough balls. You can make them small, medium or large. However, if you haven't had much practice making these before, it's easier to make them small. You then just want to make sure there's no gaps and the dough is fully sealed. I tend to pinch the bottom to do this. And then once I've pinched it, I just roll it back into a smooth ball. So just to show you the size difference, I've made 3 different sizes. I've got large, medium and small, and I'll show you how to fry each size. So once you've made all the balls, I then tend to cover and leave them to rest for another 5 minutes again. You then just want to dip each dough ball into flour and then flatten out. You can use a rolling pin as well, and then you just want to dip it into flour once more and then just roll this out to a larger circle. You just don't want to make it too thick or too thin, just keep it in the middle. So the dough ball that I'm rolling out now is for a larger size, so if you're using a smaller one it won't be as this big. You then want to place this into really hot oil and then on a high heat just fry for 10 to 15 seconds on each side. You can press down slightly with a spatula, and when you're ready to flip over, pick it up from the middle and flip it over, as this will be easy if you're doing a larger size. Once it's ready, just take out and drain onto kitchen paper just to get rid of the excess oil. So another way you can fry them is just to roll out the puri as normal and then cut down the middle so you get 2 semicircles. You then just want to fold each side into the middle to create a triangle. You then can cut off the bottom if you've got any excess, and then you can just stuff the triangle with some halwa. This is the same method as you would make a normal samosa. So once you've stuffed the puri, then just want to seal the edges and then just make a triangle shape. And then you can just fry it like a normal puri like we did earlier on, just for about 10 to 15 seconds on each side. So to make the smaller puris, just roll out as normal and just make sure that you don't roll this out too thin. And then just fry as normal on a high heat for a few seconds on each side. The smaller ones will tend to puff up more and will take just a few seconds less than the larger ones. You can then serve the halwa warm, which I've garnished with some pistachios along with the puris. You can eat the stuffed puris warm on their own, and as you can see, the puri is nice and soft. There's no hard or crispy parts, which often makes them fall apart. If you like this recipe, make sure to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to press the bell notification so you can be the first to be notified about all my upcoming videos. You can also follow me over on my official Instagram page, Fruitatives. The link is in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.